Hello, At1 and Caffey and Enome 360 Tour team. I'm going to walk you through everything in the 360 kit, what everything does, how to use it all, and there will be a couple other videos showing how to set up and film. So to start out, we have our Pelican box right here. It's a waterproof box. It actually locks if you ever need to throw a lock on there for some reason. Nice and compact. Just the two clips. When you open it up, you have everything you need camera-wise to film here. So here you have the Insta360 1R. This is actually a lens cap cover to always put on the camera when you're not using it. It pops right off. You can go ahead and leave it right there in the case. I also have a cleaning cloth for the lens right here. If your lens is a little dirty and you need to clean it, you can put that right there on the bottom. Put your lens cap back in there. Once you get this out, this already has the mounting case and waterproof housing case on it and the mount for the tripod. What you need to do is go ahead and loosen it right here and tilt it directly straight up and down and vertical. It always needs to be vertical. You should never have it tilted sideways, but you need to tilt it sideways so it's a smaller profile in this box and the box can close well. So make sure you turn it sideways when you're storing it. So you go ahead and tighten it down tight once you got in the vertical position. I'm gonna go ahead and set this right here. And you also have the video screen here on the back. You have 3 extra batteries, slide right out. Nice little batteries, easy to take care of. And then this is the additional wide angle lens, single lens camera that you can attach on if you wanted to just use this as a regular film camera, kind of like a GoPro. So you'll have that in here. This is the charging cable that you can pull out and you can charge the batteries, but you need to charge them through the camera, which I'll show. And then this is the travel case for the memory cards. It does require a very specific type of memory card for this camera. So you would always want to buy this same memory card. Here I have the SanDisk Extreme 256 gig. It's a, if you can see here, I'll zoom in. It's a V30 XCI U3A2. It basically just allows the camera to record in high enough quality for the 360 videos. In this little tiny case, you have a micro SD card reader to make it easy to upload your footage to the computer. There's another SD card already in the camera, same one. And then here are the adapters. If you have a regular SD card reader on your computer, you can use these as well to get the footage off. And this is a little tool. It helps you maybe get the SD cards out of the camera, or if you need help popping this out of place here, it can, kind of help you pop these out a little easier if you got big fingers like me. But you always want to make sure you got all this in here when you close it up, and lock it up and get it back in the case. The camera itself, let me show you how to disassemble the camera. So you got a little slider here on the top that's going to pop the, when you slide it over, it lets you pop the top open. It then is going to let you flip this little panel open here. And then you can push the camera right out of this housing. They say if you're going to put this underwater, you have to put this in this housing in order for it to seal this whole camera nice and tight together. So otherwise water might leak in. So to take the battery off, you see this little slider right here. You slide it over, the battery just pops right off, makes it nice and simple and easy. And then you can obviously switch out to the different batteries. And then these cameras actually pull right apart, from the screen, housing, and the camera. So if you wanted to go ahead and take this camera, you can just go ahead and pop it right together with this one, and you can either have the screen facing you or facing the front of the camera, or you flip it around backwards and have the screen facing the other direction. It will let you use it either way and mount the battery on the bottom still. But you probably won't use it much because we are shooting 360s. So you put that back in there. So again, you take this screen and you take the 360 camera. This one, you do want to make sure that the little holes on the bottom are lined up with these two holes, because there's no holes on this side. So when you put these two together, you got all the holes on the bottom, and then you can take the battery, line the battery up correctly, and the battery just pops on nice and easy. And you go ahead and open this case back up. You'll see here on the top of the case, you have the record button here. You want to make sure that the record button here is lined up in the same position when you go ahead and slide it back in. You slide it into place, close the front, take the front, pop it over, and you seal it up. Easy as that. You can do it one-handed like I just did. So we're going to go ahead and set that off to the side. So that is everything in the travel case. Like I said, you want to seal it all back up tight when you put it back. You take this cover and you pop it right over the lenses so it's nice and clean. You want to tilt this down so it's out of the way when you go ahead and slide it back into place. You want to be careful too not to force anything in here, otherwise you'll pull these other little tabs out and mess up the foam. And then the charger cable you'll put back in there, and then you close the whole thing back up, and you have to push it down just a little bit, make sure everything is nice and secure, and it all latches back closed, and you got a nice sealed up box, easy to travel with. Hey everybody, I made 2 more modifications to the kit here to make it a little easier for you all. One is I left an open slot here for a microphone adapter for this camera. What you'll actually do is you will take off this panel and you will plug this adapter right here into the side of the panel, and you can plug the microphone headset, which I will show right after this video, into this, and you can actually record the audio directly onto the camera and it will sync it up perfectly. So that is going to be the optimal way when recording with tour guides to record audio onto this camera. The other addition that we made is I added the quick charge kit right here. So you have the quick charge double battery charger, you have your cable, and you have a charging block that is specifically designed for this. So essentially, you plug one end in here. Bear with me. Okay, so you plug one end into your charger block, one end into the double charger, and then you actually can take your batteries and you line them up on the charger here. They should just click right on, and you can charge 2 batteries at the same time and make it very simple for charging. You'd also be able to plug this into your car, but make sure that you're using a 2-volt charger, not a 1-volt charger. If 1 volt will not be enough, and you'll end up hurting the batteries. So make sure you're very careful. Optimally, you would always want to use this charging block in order to charge these batteries. Let me know if you have any questions, but this is the kit. It all goes back in here, fits in. You just wedge the charger cable right in between the two here. And like I said, the microphone adapter is going to go right in this slot. So hope you guys have a great time. Let me know if I can help anymore. If you are filming with a tour guide or someone that is in the camera doing a presentation or audio, make sure you use these Rode mics and are recording to an external recording source such as an iPhone or a audio recording device. These are very simple. You simply just hold the button, turn them on, and then same for the one that you clip on to the individual speaking. You don't have to use the fuzzy, it clips off, but you clip this onto their lapel or somewhere where you can hear them, but you can actually see a little audio recording of their voice here, and you can utilize the plus and the minus buttons if it's too loud. For instance, if I hold it too close to my face, you see it's in the yellow. You don't want it in the yellow, you want it right at the top of the green, so you get a nice vocal range without it getting too loud. So you can use the plus and the minus. And then this is going to get great audio from the tour guide or whoever's speaking. Heim has a bunch of these, and if we need to get more, let me know. So now we have this nice case. This is all the tripods and other mounts. So in here we have the this one. I might need to set the phone down, but all right, we got one couple bags. We got this tripod, and it's actually a monopod. And then actually here at the bottom, you might need to go ahead and pop it out like that. You have the selfie stick. So I'll actually start with the selfie stick because we actually want to use this every time we use the camera. So I'm going to go ahead, open this back up, pull the camera out, and again, pop this nice and straight like that. Make sure your lenses are nice and clean. And then we want to go ahead and screw the selfie stick right onto the bottom of it and get it nice and tight so it's nice and secure on there. To extend the selfie stick, you can just pull it straight out. You don't have to do anything fancy, but you get a nice long selfie stick. Anytime you ever use the 360 video camera on any stick, you want to make sure that this camera is perfectly aligned with the stick, just like this. If it's not, you'll see the stick in the video footage, but because it is perfectly aligned underneath it, it hides this stick and you'll never see it. So then you can film it right in front of you like this, and because it's a 360 camera, you'll see yourself great in it. It doesn't matter that it's tilted a little bit away from you or anything, but the selfie stick is hidden, and I'll show you some footage of that here in a little bit. But you want to go ahead and collapse that selfie stick. Again, you can use it nice and short like this if you'd like. But we'll now talk about the second tripod. This is going to be the one that we use out in the field, setting up the camera shots. So the first thing you do is you got 3 feet here on the bottom. All you do is you just pop them out and you hear a click, and a click. So then you can pull them all completely flat. To close them, you see these little tabs right here. You pull the tab out towards the foot, and then you can close it back up or close it this way. And otherwise, when it goes out, it locks into place and you won't be able to close it. You'll also be able to, so when it's a nice stable platform right there. But if for some reason you're on a hillside or you want to get a little bit more height out of this or something, you could click it one more time until you hear the click, click, click. And again, you're going to want to pull it back out to where it's solid. And you could set it up like that as well. Or like I said, if you're on a hillside or a staircase and you needed to have one leg up higher, something like that, you'd be able to adjust it based on what you're doing. But just for all purposes of showing you guys, I'm going to have it completely out like this. The other nice thing is when dealing with 360 cameras, you don't have to have everything perfectly level. It's very nice. So you got this here. If you're like hiking up a hill, you may want to use this strap, but when not using it, use the rubber band to keep it tight against the stand so it doesn't get in the camera shot. You also have 3 height adjusters here. I would only recommend to get to camera height or to eye height, just use the top 2. The bottom one is the smallest tube, so it's going to be the least stable. So start with the top one, raise it all the way up, and then lock it back into place. Go to the second one, and raise it all the way up, lock it into place. Like I said, only use this third one if necessary. So now you got a nice tall stand. A way that you'll want to do this is, so say anytime you're working with this stand, actually I'll show you I'll flip it upside down to show you. You have this ball bracket here at the bottom, so you can unscrew this screw right here. You can see it has a ball here on the bottom, so this can be adjusted to all different angles. So as it's on the ground, say it's on a hillside, you'll be able to adjust it so it's angled up on the hillside, but your tripod or your monopod stand is pretty much standing straight up and down. Or you can have it, wherever is necessary. Once you get it to the location of where this is standing right up and down, for the most part up and down. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect because it's a 360 camera. You come down to it and you just screw it all the way down nice and tight, and it will actually lock it into place. So then it won't move or wiggle on you at all, any that you don't want it to. And then, like I said, you need to undo it. You can go either way. There's also this other screw here. This holds this little rubber piece in place on the bottom. In the kit here, you have a alternative rubber piece. If you're using this as a monopod for filming or other purposes, you can switch that out if you want. And here are some other little tools if you need to tighten up other little screws on the monopod or something happens, you can use all these tools in here to take care of the monopod and keep it nice and tight. So I'll include that in the box. So again, once you get this nice and level and you got the pole standing up and down, you're going to take this with this little selfie stick and you're going to go ahead and screw it into the top. You could screw, you just see screw it all right down. You could screw this directly on top of this plate, but because this plate is a little bigger, you see it a little bit more in the camera shot if this is screwed directly on here. So the selfie stick actually helps hide it a little bit more, a little less editing on the rear end or in the post. But that's pretty much it. So now you got a 360 camera set up on your tripod. Like I said, if you need to go taller for any reason, you have another extension on the bottom, or you can also extend your selfie stick up higher. If, for some reason you're just like, oh, we need to get it up to a certain height to make it look good from a certain angle. You have a lot of height to work with here if need be, or it could be nice and short if it's going to be on a table or something like that. But 2 full extensions up and the selfie stick not extended is right at eye height, at least for, an average height person. So this might just be perfect, but it's nice and stable. You basically can easily move this around. You're going to just, find a spot, stick it there, and then you have your entire setup. It's also pretty incognito. It looks just like a GoPro camera, to the untrained eye. They won't really think you're doing anything too different. So that is how you set up for filming. Also in this kit is this other kit for mounting onto a DJI drone. So let me go ahead and open this and show you what's in here. I haven't assembled this yet, but I will go ahead and do it. Essentially, this is mounted right here, and then you have another screw that essentially you would take this camera off of the selfie stick. You do not want to put the extra weight of the selfie stick on the drone, but you will take the little screw going through this hole and screw it right onto here. And then this is going to be hanging from the drone here. And then these little holes is what you clip over the feet of the drone. And then essentially this will dangle from the drone. You will have to hand launch your drone. So you obviously can't have this hanging on the ground and expect to launch it. So you're going to have someone help you by holding the drone, launch the drone up. And then when you get the drone, you're going to want to start filming before you launch the drone. And you're going to want to do that in the video mode. And then when you get up there, you want to obviously keep the drone hovering in a certain position for probably at least 2 minutes so it can capture a really nice 360 video. And then when you're bringing the drone back down, they're going to have to catch the drone because obviously this is going to be hanging down and you don't want to try to land the drone directly on top of this camera. So that's all the equipment. To undo this, like I said, you just unscrew the selfie stick. You can put that back in the bag. I actually dropped it. And then you're going to want to close both of these latches. And then, like I said, make sure this is nice and tight. You come here and pull out each one of these and close all 3 of them. And then you got a nice little compact thing, and they all go right back in that bag to make it easy for you to travel and get some 360 shots. So the next video is going to be covering how to actually film with this, how to use the app, and what to do while you're filming. And me and Haim are going to give you some examples. So happy filming. And this is Chris Granzo. If you have any questions about how to use this, my phone number is 202-373-2010. And if you're in Israel, you probably have to do the +1 in front of that. So let me know if you have any issues. Can't wait to see the footage you guys get. Thanks. All right, guys, so we're out here on location. Again, we got the camera set up. We have it on the tripod. We have it on the selfie stick. And we have it mounted directly up and down. We also have our wonderful talent here, Haim Mailspin. We have a audio recording device set up that is going to an external audio recording so we can get great audio from him, and link that in later. So like I said, once you get this set, again, if you get it relatively vertical, it doesn't have to be perfect. You can go ahead and spin this down and nice and tighten it down so it's going to be locked in place. Make sure it's not wobbling or moving at all. You want to go ahead and remove the lens cover. Use it when you're not utilizing the camera to protect the lens. Take a cleaning cloth. Always make sure it's nice and clean, and you inspect it to make sure there's no little particles on the lens. And remember, you have 2 lenses, so you want to do both lenses. Once you get it nice looking good, there are 2 buttons on top of the device, and a power button and a recording button. Go ahead and click the power button. It will turn on the camera. It will be loading. You will see a small version of the display on the camera or on the screen, and you'll get some information. I don't recommend using this because it's just small, but at least tells you what quality you're recording in, some other vital information, including your battery level. Obviously you want to always make sure you got enough battery or switch the battery out. But once the camera is on, you want to go ahead and grab your phone. You want to download this app, the Insta360 app. You'll find it on the App Store. If you can't find it, let me know. I'll send it to you. And you go ahead and open it up. When you have it open up, you want to make sure both your Wi-Fi and your Bluetooth are turned on. And when the camera is in range, you hit this little Wi-Fi button here in the center with the camera. When it's open, it starts to look for this camera. And then when it prompts you to join its Wi-Fi network, you hit join. If it prompts you on anything else, just hit accept. It's going to then connect to the camera, and once you hit it, you hit complete. Now you see a yellow camera button here in the center. You click that, and then it goes ahead and launches the camera view of what you're looking at. So obviously here you can see me and Haim, and then you can actually scroll around and see the entire view, trying to keep up with Haim walking around here. So you can see everything now. The camera is capturing in 360, even though obviously you won't see all of it. And then you can even zoom in or zoom out just to make sure everything looks good. So when you set up, you want to obviously always check, make sure the view is a very nice view. It's what you want to show. If you're trying to highlight a particular object or informational piece, you want to check on here, make sure you can see it in clear quality. Like this chair, I can zoom in, yes, I can see it very well. Or the fountain here, you're in our backyard right now. The other thing to note, when you have a something that you really want to showcase, you want to make sure that one of the camera lenses is facing directly at it. So for instance, Haim, I want him directly in front of the camera lens, because you may not notice it much at all, but right on the angle is where they stitch the camera view together. So yeah, for instance, yeah, see Haim right when he's here. Oh, sorry, I'm clicking around. Cancel. I went into a live mode. Right when he's right in between the two, it may get distorted a little bit. So you don't want him to be there. But for the most part, the regular scene, you're not going to notice that little tiny bit of distortion where the stitching is happening. So, but for people, you want to make sure that they are face on to the camera, right in front of the camera. So you got some options here. One is the quality in which you're filming. So you have options on how you can do this. You can have photo, video, HDR photo, night shot, burst, HDR video, time lapse, and you can even do some live functions if we ever want to go live on Facebook or different things. But what I would recommend is if the lighting is good, and sometimes it prompts you with a dialogue saying if you're doing action shots or low lighting, do not use HDR video. But if you got good lighting like we have here, HDR video is going to get us a very good high quality video. And then otherwise use the regular video, but you can see it saturates it a little bit less. But in post we can fix that. But like I said, you don't want to push it if you don't have to. HDR video is going to always look better. You also want to click here on the top. Make sure you're recording in the highest quality, 5.7K, 25 frames a second, 2.1 ratio, which is fine. You can also adjust things like the white balance. Auto white balance should usually be good, but if for some reason the color doesn't look right, you can mess around with the white balance meter here until you get it just right. But auto should always be the good default. And then basically when you're ready to start filming, for each location, if you're going to be filming with a person, you want to go ahead and film that first. So again, set the camera up where you want it. Have the person, about 5 feet away from the camera, maybe 10 feet max, depending on what it is. You always want to have a lead in on the camera shot. For instance, maybe wait 10 seconds with him standing there before he talks, or maybe have him walk into the scene. So then it establishes a little bit, and then same at the end, you want a lead out. So either have him stand there for 10 to 15 seconds or have him exit the scene. So we'll go ahead and shoot an example of that. So maybe we'll have Haim walk in on it. So we're going to go ahead and be here. You will not have a live recording or live stream of the camera while it is recording. But you obviously, if it looks good, it's gonna be fine. So we're gonna go ahead and hit record.
Just wait here for like 15 seconds before
Yep.
starting?
Yep, and I'll call you. So if you are doing this button pushing, you want to make sure you're hiding and out of the shot. Even though I'm going to be in the shot a little bit, I'm doing this so I can record for you. So we're recording. You make sure we're recording. You wait about 10 seconds. You go, okay, Haim, go ahead and enter the scene. So we're going to have Haim walk in.
Shalom.
And then he's going to talk and do his presentation of whatever he's going to talk about here. He can talk about the trees or the plant life. Obviously, this is an example. You also want to make sure that you are recording on the audio.
Right.
You make sure you always get an audio recording as well, because if you don't get that, then we won't know what he's saying.
Right.
Worst case is you could probably use your phone's voice memos and record audio. And then again, when he's done, you either wait there for 10 seconds or let's have you exit the scene.
The good thing about these roads is they will record. They'll record even if somehow they're not connected, they'll record to the actual device.
Oh, which is great. So okay, so we'll have him exit the scene, and then when you're done, you click done. Finish recording. Again, you want to be hiding and not where the camera can see you when you're the one recording. You also obviously can click the record button up here and start recording and go and hide yourself and then start the scene. So before you move this, what I want everyone to do is, you got the tour guide speaking. Now have everybody get out of the scene. If there are background people walking around the scene, then that's okay, because that's, what the average person would see if they were at that location anyway. But I want to go ahead and capture 2 full minutes of each scene in the video format. So if you're filming HDR, we'll have Haim completely get out of the scene, and then you go ahead and start recording. Sometimes it takes a second, which is all right. You'll see it start recording. You yourself go and hide and get completely out of the scene. So then we can get 2 minutes of uninterrupted 360 video of the scene, and so we can loop that and use that for other interactions and buttons to let the users explore the scene. And then when that 2 minutes is up, go ahead and just hit stop recording, or obviously walk back up to the camera and stop recording on the camera. Then we'll have that 2 minutes captured. But then again, before you leave and you move it to the next location, I also would like to get a photo. So you'd go ahead and go to either photo or HDR photo. And again, make sure you get well out of the scene so you're not in it or you're hiding. And then you want to, where the camera can't see you. So for instance, I'm hiding over here, so I'm going to hide behind the bush. And then Haim's not in the scene. And I'm going to go ahead and capture that scene. And here you can look and see everything the camera sees, but it's capturing this photo. It takes a minute sometimes. And then once it captures it, great. And that's it. So now you go, okay, we're done. And we move to the next scene. So now you just pick this up and you go, say you wanted to film the next scene right here in the middle of this walkway. You set this here and you do the entire process again. Or you go to whichever location. If you're using the drone, you would attach it, put it on the drone, send it up. Or if for some reason you needed this to be higher or lower, you can extend this whichever direction is necessary, get the shots that are needed. So again, let me know if you have any questions. It should be pretty simple. It's a very easy app to use, and hope you have a great time recording. Thank you very much. One other note, when you're taking the photos, you see at the top, you'll be able to click and see the different formats. Make sure you always do RAW plus INSP. We want the RAW as well as the standard when you take your photos. So make sure that you always get that captured as well. Sometimes it defaults to just INSP, but make sure you click RAW plus INSP when you capture all photos. Great. Either when you're on location or you are back in the office, you can also quick preview your last shot by clicking that little circle. Make sure that it looked good, everything was the way that you wanted it, nothing was in frame that you didn't want. Or you can actually, or you can go back, while it's loading, you can go back to twice. You're gonna hit album here in the bottom left. You're gonna see the shots that you shot before, you can view them. We're gonna see that one of Haim speaking here. It's gonna load it up. There is a tutorial in-app that will let you view it, but it will let you view the entire process, scan through it, watch and make sure that it was the way that you would want it to be. Obviously, you can look around the scene, make sure you see, so I was in the shot, so you may want to do it again without me in the shot. You also notice that you can see the tripod a little bit. We are going to make a logo that goes over this that says, something like CAFI or Enome or At One Tours. So that way it hides that. And if they ever look down, they'll see our logo. But you can scan through it, make sure it was exactly the way you want, play it. You can just click on it by playing it. It does have built-in audio, so that that will help you. But having the extra audio will definitely help aid that, especially if they're further away from the camera. But it's a great tool. There's also a lot of features in here if you also wanted to make your own content and share it, or just use this to film videos. So you definitely want to explore everything that this app has to offer. But once you get this footage done, you take the memory card out of the camera, which you come into the side here. You're going to click this little button and it's going to pop. This is where this tool could be very helpful. This little metal tool right here. You're going to go ahead and let's see if I can do this with one hand. Click this open. It's going to then pop this a little bit and you pry it open, and it has a little thing so it helps hang there. You actually have the input here on the side for the camera, but you also have the memory card in here. So you can take your little tool and pop the memory card out, and then you'll, let's see, let me do that again. Pop the memory card out, so it pops out a little bit. It's kind of hard to grab it. If you have little fingers, you might be able to do it. You probably have to take it out of this case to do it, but you'll pull the memory card out, and then you put it into this device or into one of the SD card readers, put it in your computer, pull the footage, upload it onto the Google Drive, and then we'll have it to put into the 360 Taurus. So again, let me know if you have any questions, and I hope this helps.